each other. We're going to see each other in the playoffs. So could we say that similar to how they ever got a hit, like what people were saying about De La Salle watching football, that was the real state championship? Yeah. Curtis Bethlehem game could be the real state championship. That would make South Boost the favorite, even though they lost to them.
They're talented. They're talented. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They got her and they got 3 more other ones. So they got a good squad. That's good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Theirs is good, okay.
I'll get it back to you with the first names.
1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 20, 22, 23, 24, 30,
Ed looks like he's going to a parade after this with that tie on.
He put his names in the books by first name. You don't have last names in the book?
You got the first names there. Just give me the numbers.
Numbers are right down the line.
Numbers are good, okay.
Numbers are great.
1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 1
other than that, it kind of stays in the closet.
Abigail
You know, it's like when you know somebody's out of town when they have Mardi Gras beads on in April. You know they're not from New Orleans. You know.
So you're gonna wear that on TV?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look good.
How are you?
21 is spelled, it's Caroline, huh? You got it misspelled.
Yeah.
Kenny, it is
You have,
Caroline.
you have an
Caroline?
extreme honor today, sir.
I know that. I was
Working.
listening to y'all this morning. I know that.
Yeah. Good.
You wanted me a stats headset? All right. I'm gonna be right in the center. Right here? Yeah.
Check pronunciations with you real quick too.
All right.
Sierra's Laril or
Laril.
Laril. Treya Bruce.
Treya Bruce.
Cyril.
Q-roll.
Q-roll. Just like that.
That's my name. That's why I got
That's
twins.
easy then.
I got twins.
You got twins. Okay.
10 and 21.
I got it.
You do all my housekeeping right now. Sign the book and everything.
Michaela Barnes. Casey Rouse, is it? Roose, like a, like a moose.
Three is your store.
Kaya Jackson?
Kaisa. Or Kaisha. Kaisha.
Kaija.
Two.
Just like they sound.
Just like it looks. Alex is fine. Caroline. 30. Q-roll. Nelson's 30.
Got 11 players.
Yeah, let's go. Vic Nelson. Vic, V-I-C.
Yep.
Vic Nelson is good enough.
Vic Nelson.
Instead of Victoriana.
Vic.
Vic Nelson.
V-I-C. Abigail Gaspard. Abigail Bozard.
That's correct. See, look how we go with it here. Instead of putting Victoriana,
I
Vic.
love it.
5.
So 5, 3, 5,
32. And 23.
22.
You got 14 players dressed up.
Got it.
It only holds 15.
I even wrote the starter.
Yeah.
I never forget. I don't even know how many people we got.
Yeah.
I need yours.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you initialize for me that I got your right people in
They played this morning too, right?
Yeah. Alicia Williams.
What is this? This is Nickel book.
Okay.
All right, sir. Fine. How you doing? See? Good to see you. Ready to do this? I'm ready. You all right, man?
Last time I made a mistake, I had you.
Yeah, just letting you fall and regale him on it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Got him.
All right, I'll let you guys. I'll let you already input. No, I got it.
You good?
Okay, I'll bring it back tonight.
We'll sit down after this game. Talk
They
about
got
it.
it.
Get on a string, all right? Just talk about what you're going to see because you got totally different stuff up there than what you used to. You got to watch. You can actually talk back to me while the game's going on. Okay, we've moved into the 21st century now. So it's like full HD with real equipment. All right, looking forward to it. Y'all should be come up there 5 minutes or so, whatever. Yeah, much as you want to talk.
Yeah, I don't have a 13. Everybody else I have.
Frida Vega.
Frida?
Frida.
Frida.
One in white and one in gray. Watch out. He's going to have fun.
Homer Christian.
Chips on the back row back here. Just you want to come back or whatever. I didn't write down score.
So they're 19 and 1.
All right, Chip, we're on headset here, so
Hello.
you should be hearing us just fine. You hear us all right up there? Make sure you tell us that you hear us. We are speaking with you. Do you hear me? Yes.
How about me? You got me
hear
too?
Bill? Okay, all right,
Awesome.
good enough. That's a good thing if you're hearing us both. So we're good to go. We're pleased. We're ready to roll. We thank you. Let's see here. So then I'll check with the SB. What was that score last night? SB Prep Classic. What do we have? From the Hilario Center in West Wego, it's the 7th annual Allstate Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic. It's the Gold Division Championship of the girls competition, and the championship game will pit the South Lafourche Tarpons against the Houma Christian Warriors. And a pleasant good afternoon to you. Ken Trahan joined by the coach Bill Gallagher, the first of 3 live streams here on SportsNova.com from the Hilario Center. All championship games for you here. What a treat we have for you this afternoon in this evening. Still to come, we have the girls' platinum bracket championship between Destrehan and John Curtis, and then the boys' championship game, which will feature a very good team from Kingwood, Texas, as we get a Christian school there that's an outstanding basketball team that you'll get a chance to see against a very good Scotlandville team. We look forward to seeing all those games and bringing them to you here this afternoon. And as I mentioned, Bill Gallagher with us. And first up, we have a matchup of 2 teams from the Bayou, South Lafourche and Houma Christian. South Lafourche, a 4A school. Of course, Houma Christian has been a 1A school, but don't be fooled by the classifications. South Lafourche comes in 19-1, but Bill, that one loss was to Houma Christian.
Yes, it was. It was very early in the season, but these are 2 teams that probably are more familiar with each other than just playing that one time. I'm sure plenty of these girls know each other, so it should be a really exciting game.
Yeah, back on November the 28th, it was 53-49. Houma Christian defeated South Lafourche behind 16 points for Alicia Johnson, 13 for Dee Thomas. South Lafourche got 21 from Treya Bruce and 17 from Victoriana Nelson. South Lafourche had the lead at the half, 28-24, but could not hold it. And it was a huge win for the Houma Christian program, which has a first-year coach in Coach Tammy Martin.
Yes, she is a first-year coach, but she's got these girls playing really hard and really well. A pretty decent record, 12-7. They haven't been around that long as a school, but that was a big win for them over South Lafourche at home. We'll see what happens on a neutral court this afternoon.
Randy Terrebonne is an outstanding team at South Lafourche, and they have marched through this tournament, winning 3 consecutive games to get to the finals. They opened up with a 47-38 win over Hahnville. And then they defeated, I should say they opened up with a 57-22 win over De La Salle. Then they knocked off the defending 5A state champions Mount Carmel by 19, and then defeated Helen Cox by 2 in a thriller in the semifinals to get to this point in time. Homa Christian has only played 2 games to get here, Bill. They won their first game over Zachary, and then they got a walkover in the second round against St. Thomas Aquinas yesterday because of the bad weather over toward Western St. Tammany and Tangipahoa parishes. 4 schools could not get back here to play last night. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really a shame for the schools, for their opponents, and for this fine tournament that those schools were not able to make the trip over. But it was the best decision considering the weather last night.
Homa Christian dominated Dominican earlier today, winning easily in the semifinals to get to this gold bracket final. And people ask, why 2 girls brackets? Well, you have so many teams that want to play in this tournament, so they created 2 brackets as of a year ago. The gold and platinum brackets. The platinum, of course, is considered the top bracket, but keep in mind that Jules Sumner won this gold bracket last year, and then they went on and won the state championship. So it gives you an idea. And speaking of state championships, as our friend Ed Daniels has talked about for quite some time, this is the unofficial state championship of Louisiana on many fronts because, unfortunately, you're not going to see publics competing with privates in the playoffs.
We've talked about that on numerous occasions on other broadcasts. The girls' game, the next girls' game that we have, Destrehan and John Curtis, a combined, I believe, 38-1 combined records, and this is probably the only time they will see each other.
Well, South Lafourche has mentioned just the one loss. They have some really good wins. They've won a lot of games in big fashion this year. They have some close wins over East St. John, Parkview Baptist, to name a couple that were very competitive games, and Assumption. A lot of good teams on the Bayou, I should tell you, in basketball, both girls and boys this year. We saw an Ellender girls team win a consolation game before this one. That was an awfully good-looking basketball team as well. Now, the record of 12-7 for Homa Christian, keep in mind, this is a 1A school that plays up against a lot of high-level competition, playing 3A, 4A, and 5A schools across the board, so their record is deceiving.
Right, looking at their schedule, they played U-High, they played South Lafourche and beat them, St. Michael's, Washington Marion, a good team out in the Lake Charles area. So, yeah, they played a really tough schedule. Barb, another one from the Lake Charles
area. 5A
area.
schools, lost to defending 4A state champ Ursuline by 8. Beat Salmon, a team that just played here as a very good basketball team.
And the Barb score, they lost 43-40. I believe the last time I looked at the power rankings, Barb was ranked number 1 in 5A girls.
Pretty impressive. So it tells you a little bit about how Homa Christian's been in tough. When you play tough competition, it benefits you down the road. There is no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
As we get set to get things rolling here, we'll tell you all about the starters here for both teams momentarily as we scan the lineups for you. First and foremost, we'll start with Homa Christian out of Houma, Louisiana, with their starters in this game. And the first, I'm trying to get all that settled right now. I'm missing one there for some reason, but I'll figure it out there. Missing one starter here. Who is it? It's 2, it's 20, it's 23, it's 30, and who's the 4? 31, there we go. So for Homa Christian, the starters will include Brianna Harding, Courtney Lee, DeAndre Thomas, along with Blair Ringo and Alicia Johnson. That's called doing it on the run. They just gave them to us. South Lafourche will counter with Ramey Messer, Treya Bruce, Casey Rouse, Kaiser Jackson, and Vic Nelson. So those are the lineups, the starters for this particular game. South Lafourche will be wearing white with the blue numerals and blue trim on their uniforms, and the Homa Christian will be wearing light gray, so a couple of lighter colored looks here.
Good luck with that.
And the Warriors have the dark blue trim and a little white accent to go along with it. Well, we had one game earlier today. The first game up this morning had one team wearing light gray, the other team wearing dark gray. So the uniform police really need to go to work.
Well, as tough as that is for us sitting over here, imagine how tough that is on an official.
Makes it very difficult. I'll tell you what, the good news is in basketball, unlike football, and as you know, I call a lot of football games, you're close up. So you can see a lot better and distinguish. When you're sitting a long distance away and you're trying to do this in football, it makes it a lot more difficult. But it's another story for another day. We'll be able to distinguish who's playing here and who's who pretty well for you here today, I can assure you. So no worries about that. As both teams have had their starters introduced, and we're just about set to get things started here from the Alario Center. It's the Gold Bracket Championship of the girls division here in the 7th Annual Allstate Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic. We're set to go. Jumping center will be DeAndre Thomas for Homa Christian, and for South Lafourche, Vic Nelson. About the same height And two teams extremely familiar with each other. It'll be a very intriguing game as a result. Ready to roll, ball in the air, tap goes to South Lafourche in backcourt. Here is Treya Bruce with the basketball. Bruce across the timeline, and Homa Christian will match up playing man-to-man. Left side of the floor, that's Jackson. Left baseline to Bruce as we set him inside, and there's a ball loose on the floor, but South Lafourche gets it. Dribble drive and a kick back outside now to Jackson, and Jackson goes back outside to Bruce, fumbled, got it back. So a little bit sloppy first possession of the game, the gold championship here from the Hilario Center. See, a lot of teams play zone, but Homa Christian opening man-to-man here. This will be a turnover, so South Lafourche's first possession takes 35 seconds, and they turn the basketball over.
Both of these teams played earlier today, so we'll see as the game goes on how much of an effect that has. Homa Christian only has 10 players on their roster, so we'll see if that lack of depth comes back to haunt them.
And here are the Warriors, and as I mentioned, a lot of teams play zone. You can look at South Lafourche lining up in what looks like a 2-1-2 zone, drop into a 2-3. And ball movement's the key here. There's a turnover on the other side. So each team with a turnover to get things started, a little tight. And, of course, familiarity. Here's Bruce. Right side of the floor, Jackson. Nice pass down low. Double teamed and a block. Ball retained and loose on the floor, and coming out of there with it is Homa Christian. The other way for the shot and the miss. Rebound fought for, control by Homa Christian. That's Thomas. And this is in. So Alicia Johnson puts in the first two of the game. Johnson puts Homa Christian on top 2-0. She was their leading scorer in the first matchup of the year between these two teams.
Two good passes and a good offensive rebound by Thomas on that play for Homa Christian.
So we got a contrast in styles right away, Bill. One team that lined up playing man-to-man. The other team is playing zone. Out of bounds, and South Lafourche will maintain possession.
And you wonder at this point in the season, having already played each other, do they change anything? How much did they look at film when they played them the first time? Or do they just stick with what they did from the beginning?
Partially blocked. Good job of jumping out to get that. And Johnson comes down with the board off of the block by Thomas. Second block already for Homa Christian, showing their ability to get to shooters. High-low look here. Knocked away but retained. And that's going to be well off the mark. 50-50 ball, and that's blocked. Nicely done by Nelson to come up with that block. And South Lafourche in possession now. 2-0 Homa Christian early on here. Just over 2 minutes in. And we're tied at 2s. This is knocked down nicely by Kaija Jackson for South Lafourche. This game is even. Messer with the assist, and we're tied at 2. Here's a 3-ball. Bang! Inside-out look there. You got to like that.
Nice little possession there on the offense, as you said. A little inside-out look, stick it inside, make those defensive guards sag, and it leaves the outside open.
Courtney Lee got the look, knocks it down. It's 5-2 Warriors on top. Nice pass down low to Bruce, but she's cut off, so it goes back out top, and they reset. Little clear out here. Hit her last shot from that area, but this time nowhere near. And Ringo has the board. And South Lafourche will set up shop in that 1-2-2-3 look. Nice feed to the post, but a little bit too close to the basket.
A little too deep there.
Nice drive by Messer. Put it in with the left hand. Gotta like it. Very aggressive. Took it right to the hole.
Yeah, they look like they're a little bit better off the miss there in transition rather than setting up in that half-court defense. Homa Christian defense is really looking good early on.
Ball movement against the zone is what matters. Spacing is always important. Nice look inside. Beautifully done. Johnson, the basket, but the beautiful pass from Thomas. And Homa Christian with a 3-point lead.
You know, early on you can see, even though it's a 1A school and a 5A school, you can see why Homa Christian had such success against South Lafourche.
And
this
the
is a well
steal.
team.
Nice bounce pass again. Boy, you got to like their passing, but the missed layup. Bruce comes out of there with it and gets fouled in the process.
A very unselfish team. And here come your first substitutions.
Harding draws the foul. It's her first and the first team foul of the game. And South Lafourche has Elizabeth Q-Roll into the game. Messer. Q-Roll. Bruce off the dribble drive is hand checked and fouled. And that's going to work against Courtney Lee. And it will be her first and the second team foul against Houma Christian. Open shooter in the corner, got the look, knocks it down. Well, you got to identify Bruce.
Wow, that it's kind of amazing there that she was that wide open on that play. The strong side corner, just flipped it right to her, and she sank it.
And our second tie of the game at 7, and the answer is short. The rebound is long. And now a chance for a breakout here. Offensive foul. Good job defensively to set her up. Probably should have given that one up.
Yeah, no question about that there. She had numbers, had an opportunity to pass it off, decided to keep it, drew the charge. Full court pressure now by South Lafourche.
Third turnover by South Lafourche. Break the pressure easily, and let's see if they attack, and they should carry the ball. So the turnovers are now even at 3. Not the person probably you want handling the ball out top.
Well, her job is to be in the middle and take the middle, but once you get the ball in the middle, look to pass it somewhere else.
So 2:45 to play in the first. Even at 7. Messer. Q-Roll signals a play with the offhand, hand to the head. Good position defense being played by Houma Christian. Really forced everything to come from outside. They finally get it down low, too close to the hole, and pulled down by Johnson, and now Houma Christian's on the run. Beautifully done.
Houma Christian looks like they're going to live and die with their defense, which isn't a bad strategy at all.
Thomas the basket and a 9-7 lead for the Warriors. Oh, that's a tough shot put home by Treya Bruce. She's got 5. This game's even once again.
Any shot you make is a good shot, Ken.
You got that right. It's tough. Nice extra pass. Can't finish. Good follow, and a jump ball will be called. Good hustle to the basketball by Thomas to get the board, but tied up. However, Houma Christian will keep it. On the alternating possession is Delia Williams checks in for Houma Christian, and Michaela Bynum is in for South Lafourche at the 148 mark.
Houma Christian doing a good job of sharing the ball. They just need to make those shots underneath.
Short off the rim and out of bounds to South Lafourche. Has the makings of a really close game just based upon what we're watching here.
Yeah, you got two good teams competing hard, playing good defense, and that's going to make the score stay close when both teams are playing well defensively.
Bruce from long distance. Right on line, but short. Long rebound, though, as we see a lot on those long balls. And another miss. And this one loose on the floor. That's going to end up being a jump ball, and it will stay with South Lafourche. So they'll get a third chance here with the 1:21 to play in the quarter.
Sometimes on those long rebounds, when you play in your second game of the day, that's when the tiredness shows.
Wide open, Bruce. Boy, you need to know where she is, but she's short. And a long rebound controlled by Lee. Nice pull-up. Back rim and out of bounds, and Houma Christian will keep it at the 106 mark. Tough shot. Beautiful face-up. And Thomas has 4 points, and Houma Christian has the lead once again.
She's a good player. She plays with a lot of confidence.
Third lead change of the game. And we're under a minute to play in the first here. Houma Christian by 2. Ball loose but picked up by Q-Roll. She hits the floor, but Bruce has it. On the runner. Made one like that earlier. Nice offensive rebound and a 2-shot opportunity. Love to see offensive rebounds, don't you?
Oh yes, as a coach, you really you never get enough of those. You never do.
Fouls on Thomas, and that's her first, and the team's third. And at the line is Vic Nelson to shoot a pair. So Nelson with a 2-shot opportunity here. Short with the first. First free throw opportunity by either team in this game. First of 3 championship games that we'll have for you here on Sports NOLA throughout the course of the afternoon and evening. And missed them both. Same team on the rebound, and they'll lose it as a result. And now another foul. That's going to work against Courtney Lee, and that's going to be her second. So the first player with 2 fouls is Courtney Lee. That was just a communication problem on the rebound. Same team.
Yeah, they both went after it. They both hustling for it, and yeah, never did get the ball straight in their hands.
To the post, face up and under. Wild shot, taken down by Williams. Will they play for one shot or not? Now they will, with under 10 seconds to go. Oh, nice feed down low, beautifully done. Thomas the assist, Johnson her 6th point, and a long distance shot rimmed out at the buzzer and at the end of one. Houma Christian with a 13-9 lead over South Lafourche, led by Alicia Johnson, who's got 6 points and 2 rebounds.
Houma Christian's found a weak spot in that South Lafourche defense, and that down at the block on the left side, and they've gotten 3 or 4 baskets off of that, or at least 3 or 4 shots off of that. They may have missed a couple, but that's a very intelligent team over there. They're looking for the open person, the open player. They pass the ball well. South Lafourche, they need to make some free throws. They missed both those free throws at the end. Those were 2 big ones.
So Alicia Johnson with 6 points to lead the way, and again, Houma Christian, slight edge overall in the way things have unfolded thus far.
I think so. I think they forced the action a little bit. They're playing good, solid defense on their end, seeing the open man, the open girl on the offensive end. South Lafourche a little bit stagnant in their offense. They've thrown up a couple of ill-advised shots, made one of them. But they're struggling a little bit in the half-court offense.
And Houma Christian with an 8-5 lead on the boards thus far.
Yeah, you would think so, yes.
Turnovers, 4 for Houma Christian and 3 for South Lafourche as we get set to start the second quarter of this one. And the Warriors will have possession at center court with a 4-point lead. Ken Trahan, Bill Gallagher with you from the Hilario Center in West Wego on a bit of a frigid day in the New Orleans area. 3-ball, left corner, no. Offensive rebound again. And resetting. And another 3-ball, back rim again, no good. And another offensive rebound, that's no good. Finally cleared by South Lafourche, and we'll get a whistle. And this will go the other way. That's going to be a foul against DeAndre Thomas. And that's her second. So you got Thomas with 2 and Courtney Lee with 2 for the Warriors.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that, especially with Thomas. She's one of the top players for Houma Christian.
Right, D. Thomas. You start to look at, you find out about depth when you have foul issues.
Exactly.
And we will find out about that. This ball's knocked away. It's loose. It goes out of bounds, but South Lafourche will keep it as Hero was being harassed, and the Houma Christian player, Delisha Williams, thought it might have been off a cue roll. To no avail, and the Lady Tarpons keep it. Bruce has it knocked away. Loose ball. These 50-50 balls decide games. Goes out of bounds, and South Lafourche is going to keep it. Or will they? No, it's going to be a Houma Christian ball. He said white.
I told you it was tough on officials.
You got that right.
You know, you learn as a coach, you don't listen to what they say.
Thank you.
Where are they pointing?
I was using the ears, and I heard white right in front of me. So Houma Christian basketball up by 4. South Lafourche stays in that zone, challenging the 3-ball. And that'll get him out of it. Well, that's how you break a zone right there.
That's how you do it. You'd like a little more inside penetration, throw the ball inside, go inside out, but you'll take that shot anytime.
Washington to 3, her first 3, and it's 16-9, biggest lead of the game for Houma Christian at the 6:43 mark. It's a good-looking 1A team, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good-looking team, period.
Right now, they're really forcing the action.
Well, I love their defense, don't you? I mean, they're very active, moving their feet.
They really are.
Look at this. Play defense with the feet. Bruce gets an open look, short, no offensive rebound, and Kuhl puts it home. I said Bynum. It's Bynum on the offensive rebound and score. So give Michaela Bynum credit in the 16-11. And here's a steal turnover by Houma Christian. Here come the Tarpons. Bruce the other way. Nice pass down the middle and out of bounds. And a turnover by South Lafourche. So again, it was Bynum on the last basket. Give her the credit. And we'll get a 30-second timeout taken here with 5:59 to play, first half. And the lead for Houma Christian is 16-11.
Yeah, right now it's all Houma Christian at this point, and it's because of their defense. They're really making South Lafourche work hard in the half-court offense, and they're struggling a little bit. Looking at the two teams right now on the sides, South Lafourche they're huffing and puffing a little bit.
Well, again, you said it earlier. You find out a lot when you see teams have to play more than once in a day.
Right. You do, but it's going to tell more, I think, when you come out at the second half. You know, you catch your breath a little bit, but then that adrenaline starts going again. So I think in the third quarter, that depth or lack of depth is going to show itself even more.
Good ball movement to break the pressure. Dribble, drive, and out of bounds, another turnover. So Houma Christian with their 6th turnover of the game. Broke the pressure easily, but could not get a shot off from the rim.
Well, you don't need to steal the ball off of a press. You just need to cause a turnover.
Bynum with the 3 ball on the assist from Bruce. So Bynum's come off the bench nicely with 5 points, and it's 16-14. And a layup on the other end. That's Alicia Johnson. She's got 8 to lead the way. And a 4-point lead for the Warriors. That's the way to answer. Just push it off of a made basket. Catch them before they get set defensively. And the rebound by Johnson. She's been the definitive player thus far for Houma Christian. Off the drive, all the way to the rack. And Bruce comes out of there with it. Her 2nd rebound of the game. She'll keep it herself.
Pace is picking up a little bit.
Changed hands, couldn't finish. Offensive rebound, blocked and cleared. And the other way, a layup coming and put in. So the layup by Thomas gives her 6 points and a timeout taken by South Lafourche at the 4:51 mark. Houma Christian back up by 6 at 20-14.
Kind of interesting coming out of that timeout to this timeout. Both teams hit a couple of threes there, and then both teams started getting sloppy and turning the ball over. So it's a 2-possession game right now. It's still anybody's game. South Lafourche still looks a little bit tired. They're getting beat a lot in the transition right now.
Well, keep in mind, I'll say it again, and there's nothing that can be done about it, but South Lafourche has played one more game than Houma Christian's played in this tournament.
True.
So with 4:51 to play, first half, 20-14, Houma Christian on top, led by Alicia Johnson, who's got 8 points, 4 rebounds, a block, and an assist to her credit. 6 points for DeAndre Thomas, who's got 3 boards, 2 assists, and a block as well. So 2 players who have really gotten it done in good shape to this point.
And now if you're South Lafourche, you want to see what they do as they come out of this timeout, what kind of changes they made.
Left hands it up and saved on the floor, but taken down by Houma Christian. Washington has it. Nice bounce pass. Nice move by Johnson with the left hand. Cannot get it home. But an offensive rebound by Harding. She'll put it up, miss it. Bynum the board, and here comes South Lafourche. Couple of point-blank opportunities missed there, and this pass is too tall. 5th turnover for the Lady Tarpons.
And you got one team that's playing a little sloppy right now, and you got another team that's missing some golden opportunities.
Right in front of us, picked up her bounce. That's always trouble. Trying to get away from pressure. Washington did a good job. But the turnover nonetheless. Knocked away, and the Lady Tarpons will keep it. Right here at center court at the 4:10 mark of the second quarter, and a 6-point lead for Houma Christian. They've not trailed in this game. They've been tied 3 times, but they haven't trailed.
Yeah, they had the lead the whole time. They have an opportunity, had a number of opportunities to really increase their lead.
Bruce with the right hand, that's off the window short. Put back, Not happening, and the rebound Johnson. Her 5th board of the game. This bounce pass is leading the teammate too much, so very sloppy. And you get this after short nights in the sheet, so to speak. And that's 8 turnovers for Houma Christian.
You wonder sometimes how even the NBA can play back-to-back games. You get a tournament like this and you're playing back-to-back, and in this case, you're playing 2 games in one day. Really tough.
Jada Ward checks into the game for the Warriors. So Ward is on the floor. We reach 3:30 to play in the first half. South Lafourche resetting. It's been man-to-man defense throughout for the Warriors, and aggressive at that. And that's what you have to do. You must pick to free defenders, and one. What a great effort there to put it home.
He called it on the floor.
By Nelson. Oh, wow. I thought that was a basket and one.
I did too.
No basket. Wow.
Wow.
So Jada Ward gets the foul, and that's a break for Houma Christian, a bad break for South Lafourche. I definitely thought that was an and one situation.
Well, and you know the South Lafourche bench thinks the same thing.
Messer back in for the Lady Tarpons, and a steal off the inbounds pass. Oh, she had an open teammate, couldn't get it to her, turned it over, and now a foul.
Tried to pass it before she had total control of it, never was able to get her handle on it. Fouls are building up here too, I believe.
It goes against Ward, and that's her second. So Ward with 2, Lee with 2, Thomas with 2, and that's 7th team foul. So a 1-and-1 and a bonus the rest of the half for South Lafourche. And at the line is Treya Bruce, who has 5 points in the game, tied for team honors thus far. Bruce will get the bonus as she got the roll. And has cut the deficit to 5. And could not get the second. Thomas, her 4th rebound.
Full court, but Houma Christian does a really good job of breaking this full court pressure.
Nice pass to Johnson, a soft touch. Nice little mid-range game. Works, Lee the assist. Johnson in double figures, first player to reach that with 10 points and a 7-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Nice help defensively, and another rebound for Thomas, her 5th. Just beat her man to the basket, but cannot finish. Johnson, another offensive rebound. So Johnson with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and a 9-point Houma Christian lead.
Johnson's getting the offensive rebounds. Thomas is getting the defensive rebounds.
Johnson certainly the dominant force here in the first half. Oh, they get the foul called.
Big definitive block there, but a foul called.
They call it on Johnson, and that's her first. So Alicia Johnson, not on the block, but before the block was the foul on Johnson. And a 2-shot opportunity here for South Lafourche. And this is Vic Nelson. Hasn't scored yet, 0 for 2 from the line, has 5 rebounds. Now she gets her first point to drop through. Substitutions coming in. And Blair Ringo is in for Houma Christian, and for South Lafourche, Taylor Toops is on along with Kaija Jackson. Nelson trying to get them both. Cannot. Out of bounds to South Lafourche. So another opportunity here for the Lady Tarpons. And an open shooter, Bruce. Boy, they've gotten that a couple of times, but cannot finish it. Ringo gets her 3rd rebound. Storming into the front court. Look out from behind, and a foul will be called on Bynum. It's only the 2nd foul against South Lafourche, as compared to 8 fouls against Houma Christian.
Yeah, usually when you're tired, that's when you start making more fouls.
Johnson could not finish, and now a whistle and a foul on South Lafourche.
you know, one way of looking at the discrepancy in the fouls, Homer Christian's pushing this action so far. They've been the real push in this game.
They really have been the aggressor. Nice catch by Johnson and the extra pass to Ringo, but it's blocked. Nelson maintains possession, finds Bynum. Short. What a strong rebound that was. But it's taken away and missed, and an offensive board and a foul. So Thomas with her 7th rebound for South Lafourche. And that's going to work against Alicia Johnson. Suddenly she's picked up 2 fouls, and she's the one player they can ill afford to have in foul trouble.
Right, she's the one that's really been a big factor in this game so far.
Would you consider taking her out with 1:29 to play in the half?
I really would. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her getting an extra minute and a half of rest to begin with. And you sure don't want her to get another foul before halftime.
Nelson hits the first, and they're going to leave her in. They're going to take out Ringo and bring on Washington. Second by Nelson, that's short. Thomas charging into the front court, and that shot's blocked. A little bit too aggressive there. And South Lafourche comes out of there with it. Jackson off the block. And the 3-ball Bruce, that's too strong. Rebound position, Harding comes out with it.
Nice rebound by Harding.
Pushing it all the way, blocked, got it back. Boy, Homer Christian remains aggressive here, not pulling it back out. Doesn't get the bounce. Bruce the rebound. Nice job in transition. Bruce with the good pass, and she finds Nelson who puts it home. And South Lafourche with a little mini run here. Nice block again, and South Lafourche has it.
I don't hold for one shot. If I'm South Lafourche, I keep going in transition.
Keep pushing, and that's what they're doing, and Bruce scores. So Bruce with 8 points, and South Lafourche has cut the deficit to 24-21 on a 6-0 run. And Homer Christian forcing the action, offensive rebound and a foul. Boy, they just keep attacking, don't they?
They really do. This is a very aggressive team on the offensive end, Homer Christian.
Fouls on Tubes, her first, the team's 4th, and 2 shots coming. DeAndre Thomas, she's got 6.6 rebounds already. And South Lafourche on a 6-0 run. Homer Christian trying to stop that here. And does. As Thomas is able to convert her 7th point. Substitutions. Elizabeth Q-Roll is on, along with Casey Rouse. Second by Thomas, and that's in and out. Rebound fought for. Johnson has it. Tried to get it down low and lost it. But Johnson got her 9th rebound of the game already. 10.4 seconds left. South Lafourche looks like they'll get the last shot, down by 4.
Calling the play, but they don't have a whole lot of time to do that.
Bruce just looks for the pick, finds an open shooter, and short off the rim. Offensive rebound not happening, and halftime has arrived. Good first half and a 4-point lead for Homer Christian at the break here over South Lafourche. And again, in the first half, Homer Christian did not trail. They were tied on 3 occasions in the first quarter, maintain a lead as many as 9, and they go to the break up by 4. Your thoughts?
Well, you had that last run by South Lafourche that got them back in the game. It just goes to show throughout the whole first half, South Lafourche is a much better team in transition. Homer Christian, on the other hand, is a much better team playing half-court defense. So this second half is going to be, which team is able to force their will on the other team. Are we going to get into a running game, or are we going to get into a half-court game? One favors Homer Christian, the other favors South Lafourche.
And, of course, there's a boys' third-place game to come following this one on the main court. That's going to be Chalmette taking on South Miami. And then we'll have 2 other live streams for you at sportsnola.com to follow. The Girls Platinum Bracket Championship at 6:30 between Destrehan and John Curtis. And the boys' championship game, which will take place at 8 p.m. And that is going to be a good one. between the Christian school out of Kingwood, Texas, and Scotlandville Hornets. And I know you're looking forward to both of those games.
Absolutely. I haven't seen Chalmette play yet this year, so I'm looking forward to that. Scotlandville in the finals, that's always a good team to watch. One of the strongest teams in the state, and one of the stronger teams in the country.
Yeah, Kingwood Christian Life Center Academy. Got to make sure you get that right, out of Kingwood, Texas.
KCLCA.
Yeah, and don't call them Kingwood because there is a Kingwood High, and they have called them that here in this tournament. I did that in the story because that's what they use, but that's not officially who they are, so make sure that's clarified. They hope to make a name for themselves tonight because they're awfully good. But when you talk about some really good basketball teams that we're going to be watching here tonight, between the girls and the guys, I mean, it's pretty good stuff, I got to tell you, because when you look at the teams and their accomplishments and who they are to this point in time, it's very impressive. I mean, you've got, a team in the Kingwood Christian Life Center Academy. They're 11-5 coming in, but they've played a really tough schedule. Scotlandville comes in, they're 16-1. And then on the girls' side of things, you got what? Curtis is like 17-1. Destrehan's 19-0.
I am really looking forward to that girls' game. I think that's going to be that's going to be the premier game tonight. I really do think with both of those teams.
And Scotlandville, of course, when you go to the playoffs, that's a select school. I mean, they're on the select side, and to me, they're unquestionably the team to beat on the select side in Division I, having seen the teams in Division I. Going into this week in the power rankings, St. Augustine was number 1, Scotlandville number 2. I saw St. Augustine earlier this week. They're a good basketball team, but I don't think they're better than Scotlandville.
I haven't seen Scotlandville yet this year, but I'm very familiar with them in the past. I've coached against them a number of times. It's not just a good team, it's a good program. Carlos Sample is just a wonderful coach, and those kids love to play for him, and they're a national team now. They're a national team.
Get a chance to see our friend Butch Stockton here in front of us from Chalmette High School, and always good to see Butch. He's such a quiet guy. I mean, he's never got anything to say, man.
Coaches like that,
just
too.
low
He
key,
just sits back,
never gets excited about anything.
Lets his assistants do all the work.
He lets Al Goche scream the whole game.
Right, and Alvin is so vocal.
Oh yeah, you can hear him like a mile away.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we got the roles reversed. But a pleasure
to watch.
Do. and Chalmette came within a whisker of being able to play for the championship. They got a good look for 3 to tie it against a really good basketball team that we're going to see here a little bit later on.
Yeah, that shot looked like it went in and came out.
I mean, it had a shot
to tie that game at the end.
Kingwood Christian Life Center Academy, they've had a tough road to get here, and they've earned their way to this point. I mean, when you go through Riverside, go through Chalmette, you've done some really good work. And I know people are going to really enjoy watching this team because they got length and they got athleticism and a really good basketball team. And you mentioned the girls' game. I mean, goodness gracious, we're going to set the table for that a little bit later on. But you've got some premier players in that game. Of course, you start with Kyra Urson of Destrehan, who's just a fantastic player, a Baylor commit, reigning Gatorade Player of the Year in Louisiana. Sharing that as a junior, and here she is as a senior, and she's got her team unbeaten coming in. And on the other side, you got John Curtis. They got Dinah Jones, their junior, who's got offers right now from LSU, Mississippi State, North Carolina, Arkansas. She's special. And then you got Jakayla Jordan, who's a 9th grader, and she's already listed as a top 20 player for the class of 2020. Well, that's some pretty talented players.
That's the thing. Not only do you have 2 really good teams, but you've got really talented players on those teams. Kyra Urson, certainly, the best girls player in the state right now. As a fact, the fact that she's won the Gatorade once, and probably in line to win it again.
Let's take a look at some numbers from the first half of our Gold Bracket Championship game. It's Houma Christian on top of South Lafourche, 25-21. Taking a look at the scoring for Houma Christian, Zaria Washington has 3 points. Courtney Lee with 3. DeAndre Thomas has 7.7 rebounds, 2 assists. And it's Alicia Johnson with 12 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple of blocks for Houma Christian. For South Lafourche, Rami Messer has 2 points. 2 points for Kaija Jackson. 4.7 rebounds for Vic Nelson. 5 points for Michaela Bynum off the bench. She also has 3 rebounds. And Treya Bruce with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. In the turnover department, 6 for South Lafourche and 11 for Houma Christian. So that's the one number that gets a little bit out of kilter in favor of the Lady Tarpons in this game. But certainly a rebound edge for Houma Christian thus far.
Yeah, I think one of the things you need to look out for in the second half is the foul situation, especially on the Houma Christian side. They got a couple of girls in foul trouble in the first half. We'll have to see what happens with that in the second half.
Well, the rebound edge is definitive, 24-16 in favor of Houma Christian. You mentioned the fouls, and you've got Courtney Lee, DeAndre Thomas, Jada Ward, and Alicia Johnson, all with 2 fouls for Houma Christian. And when you're talking about Johnson and Thomas, D. Thomas and Alicia Johnson, that's been their offense and their rebounding in this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you really got to be concerned about that. You don't want to have to go that any deeper in your bench than you have to, especially in a close game in this situation. And you want to keep those girls on the floor as much as you can without them getting in foul trouble.
No doubt about it. So second half coming up in about 3 minutes or so. We look forward to that. And of course, we were able to bring you a whole bunch of games via sportsnola.com. We do want to mention that our championship games in the Platinum bracket on the girls' side and the boys' championship game will also be televised, tape delayed on WHNO TV 20, and we look forward to bringing those to you via WHNO as well. A lot of good response to our first basketball and wrestling stream of the year. We had a great doubleheader over at Conlin Gymnasium with St. Paul's beating Brother Martin in basketball and Brother Martin beating St. Paul's in wrestling. That was an unusual night, but it was a fun night.
It really
to be able to do that.
It really was. It was a fun night. I did the basketball game with you. I bowed to the more authoritative people in the wrestling match and just watched the wrestling, and it was really a good night for both teams.
So we got a good situation where we're able to bring you a lot of good action in basically all sports on the first NBC Prep Showcase, and we certainly enjoy the opportunity to do that here, and we'll have many more games to come during the course of the basketball season. The one thing I'm really not looking forward to is the playoff situation where you got 10 classes to deal with now, 5 on each side.
I think it's 12.
12 classes. I'm sorry,
12.
I said 10. I meant 12. So I mean, it's just astronomical.
10 would be better than 12.
Well, you got seven on one side and 5 on the other
side.
Yeah, you got Division 5 on the select side, and you got the same old on the other side, the 5 classes plus B and C. So, I mean, it's so saturated.
It's affected the boys and the girls. I mean, most of the publicity, is geared toward the boys, and how there are only 13 boys in the Division 1 side. But I believe there's only 8 or 9 on the girls' side.
Yeah.
And that's just outlandish.
Yeah, it really is. It's unfortunate that we have that. I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm glad I'm keeping score here because the numbers don't look too promising at this point. I have no idea why. Score's kind of in a different language, I think.
Cold weather, maybe? I don't know what that is.
I don't know, man.
I don't know,
but it's all good. As the teams are taking the floor for the start of the second half. Again, we've seen a contrast. Houma Christian's played man defense the whole game, and South Lafourche stayed in that 2-3 zone.
Right.
They'll bring their middle person up toward the free throw line occasionally and then drop her down.
Exactly. If Houma Christian can make a couple more of those threes and get them out of that zone defense, then we may see what happens there. But right now, it's a study in contrast.
Oh, the numbers are back working on the scoreboard, and Houma Christian starts with the ball in the second half as we reset for you. This is Courtney Lee. Lead to Harding. Harding right side of the floor to Thomas. Thomas back out top Lee. Lee back to Thomas against his own, fumbled. Got it back. Down low to Johnson. Goes to her left. That's the way she wants to go, but she can't finish. And another rebound controlled by Nelson, her 8th of the game. She's been a real force down low. Bruce off the drive, and she's grabbed and fouled. And so let's see if they call this 2 shots or not. I didn't see the 2 go up. It's going to be on the side. Foul is on Harding, and that's their second. So it's 5 players with 2 fouls each.
And the second half started off just like in the first half with South Lafourche in that zone defense, and then when South Lafourche got the ball, running in transition.
Bruce, nice skip pass left side, open look. Yes, beautiful skip pass, and Jackson knocks down the 2 ball. Bruce with the assist, and it's 25-23. Johnson in the paint has to get out of there. Nice pass and a foul. Knocked to the floor. 2 shots are coming. That's going to work against Abigail Bozegard. So Bozegard picks up the foul. And at the line to shoot a pair is DeAndre Thomas, who's got 7.6 rebounds. And gets the roll. 8th point for Thomas, and the lead is 3. Said from the start, this looked like it was going to be a close game, and it's been that way.
Well, it was close the first time they played each other. There's no reason to think it wouldn't be close again.
Soft touch gets the roll, and a 4-point lead for Houma Christian. 9 points for Thomas. As we're almost a minute in the third quarter of this gold bracket championship game. Pass knocked away, stolen. Good steal there by Thomas. And now out of bounds, give it right back. Turnover situation's been a bit of a problem for Houma Christian.
You know, they've had an opportunity. They've caused some turnovers on the defensive end, but then they seem to turn the ball back right back to them.
Bynum pushing it, penetrating, open look coming, soft touch. So Nelson with 6 and a 2-point lead, and a turnover for the tie, knocked away out of bounds. So a clean block by Ringo.
The South Lafourche certainly shooting the ball better starting off the second half than they did in the first half.
Houma Christian comes in with Elijah Williams replacing Brianna Harding. Nice look by Bruce, but she passed it up. Extra pass, open shooter, and no.
A little too hard.
Ringo, strong board. Lee on the drive. Nice pull-up, but well off the mark. And another board for Nelson. Give her 9.
Working on a double-double on her end.
A little bit of a weave action here as Bruce now resets. Calls a play with one hand, dribbles with the other. Bynum. Get it to Bruce down low, stripped away on the floor. Loose ball, foul call. And that's on Johnson, and that's her third. And you know Houma Christian didn't want to see her pick up her third this quickly in the third quarter.
No, she sure did. And then here comes a substitution. Maybe that's for her now. But
and it comes off of a loose ball. South Lafourche is starting to win more and more of those.
Yes, they are.
First one's bottom.
Well, I mentioned earlier that I thought that the depth or whatever would she's coming out now. Yeah, would raise its head a little bit more in the third quarter.
Bozegard with her first point of the game, and now she tries to tie it. And the Lady Tarpons do so as Bozegard hits both. Let's start over again, tied at 27. Our fourth tie of the game and full court pressure.
Well,
and with Johnson on the bench, how will Houma Christian play? Took it herself and scores it. Had help on the wings, but Thomas says, I can do this. And she does, and Houma Christian back on top. Quickly the other way. Thomas knocked away, got it back. She'll shoot it, miss it. Offensive rebound. Oh, that looked like a clean block. They call a foul on Ringo. Looked like she got a lot of ball there.
I think she did get ball, but I think she came down hard and got the arm when she came down.
So now Abigail Bozegard will get another opportunity. She just made 2 a moment ago. Not this time. Bozegard. Unable to convert either. And the defensive rebound cleared. Slowing it up now is Thomas. After she got her 7th board, but throws it away, loose on the floor, and now a strip and a foul. That's going to work against Bynum, and that will be her second personal.
Fatigue, I think, is showing on both sides. It's a lot sloppier to start this second half than it was during the first half.
Second team foul as well. Back out front, this is Thomas. Right side, Washington is short. Long rebound, and they're running. Bynum.
This is what South Lafourche wants
Bruce
to do.
for three. Nope. And out of bounds. Boy, she got the good look.
The fatigue is showing in two ways. Defensively, it shows on fouls. There's a lot more reaching fouls and things like that. And offensively, weaker passes, sloppier ball handling on both ends.
Under 5 minutes to play in the third. Nowhere to go there. Wisely kicked it back out. And here's an open look for three. And again, no Johnson inside, so it's coming from the perimeter, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's also taking away their offensive rebounding.
South Lafourche, though, turns it over. 8th of the game by the Lady Tarpons, and that will give Houma Christian the ball back with the 2-point lead. The question is, how much time can they buy with Johnson on the bench?
Well, right now they're doing just fine. I mean, when they took her out, the next possession, they came right down the floor and drove her right up the middle and scored. The difference right now is when they're missing offensively, she's not in there to get an offensive rebound.
Like that.
Exactly.
Jackson clearing it for South Lafourche.
They haven't gotten an offensive rebound since she's been out of the game.
Knocked away, stolen. Good play by Ringo. Good pass down the floor will be a snowbird. Delisha Williams with her first two of the game and a 4-point lead. South Lafourche quickly the other way, and this is on the floor and turned over again. 4 turnovers in the quarter by the Lady Tarpons. Off the drive, nice pass. Can't finish. Well, you got to use your legs, right?
Well, you need to hit it off the backboard also.
Right. Dribble drive. Wild shot. Put back Bozegard. No.
It's getting really sloppy.
And now we're going to whistle. And we'll get a substitution. Nelson, by the way, with 10 rebounds now for South Lafourche, as Elizabeth Q-Roll is back on for South Lafourche. And for Houma Christian, Jada Ward checks back in. The Lady Warriors up by 4. 3:41 to play in the third. Ken Trahan and Bill Gallagher with you from the Ilario Center in West Wego.
Well, Houma Christian has missed Johnson on the offensive end of the floor as far as rebounding goes, but defensively they haven't missed a lick. They're still playing very good defense, causing turnovers.
A little bit too much of a dribble there, but got away with it and will keep possession. Again, they're kind of searching for where to go with the ball now, not having that bailout down low.
Right, nothing inside anymore.
And South Lafourche able to extend a little bit defensively because they don't have to be concerned about that massive post presence. Offensive foul will be called here on Delisha Williams. 13 turnovers for Houma Christian, and the substitution now as Bruce, after a brief rest, is back in for Kaija Jackson.
Well, again, with Johnson out of the game, Houma Christian's going to have to maintain this lead from the defensive end and keep playing ball on defense, getting stops.
They have been doing that. The offenses have gone kind of stagnant here of late. 4-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Bruce capable of scoring from anywhere. Nice skip pass, finds the open shooter, can't convert. Long rebound. Lee has that, but turned over. And numbers and a foul. Nelson will go back to the line to shoot two. This is going to work on Ringo, her second. And Nelson. They call it on Washington. Okay. So that was on Washington, her first. Number 3, not number 30. All right. So at the line, Nelson will shoot two. She's got 10 boards in the game to go at 6 points. And now 7 points as she knocks down the first. And she is now 2 for 6 from the line. So it's been a bit of a struggle there. But cuts the deficit to 3.
That last shot looked very good, though.
Both so did that one. And a 2-point lead now for Houma Christian. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. Forced pass and a turnover here. And Johnson's going to come back in as quickly as possible.
I was just about to say you'd like to be able to get another 2.5 minutes without her, but you know what?
Loose ball ends up in hands of Bozegard. Can't finish. And it looked like over the back here on Thomas. So Thomas commits the foul. Not Johnson, Thomas, I'm sorry, but Nelson, her second. So Vic Nelson commits her second. And at the 2:31 mark, it will be Homa Christian ball. Still up by 2. It's been close throughout. Slight edge for the Lady Warriors, but unable to get real distance. Lazy pass. Johnson has to come out to meet it. Open look for 3. That's short. And over the back there, they're going to call an undercut foul, I believe. Well, that's a tough call. It
is a tough call, but you need to be erect. You can't
Right.
play like that. That's a safety issue right there. If she had stood her ground, and got her arms up,
Straight
got her
up and
elbows
down,
out,
yeah.
it would have been out over the back.
That's Courtney Lee, and that's her third. So foul trouble for Homa Christian. That is their issue.
That's a tough foul right there for your third one.
Under 2 minutes to play in the third. Still a 2-point lead for Homa Christian.
You wonder if this foul situation is going to make Homa Christian have to switch to a zone defense at some point.
And a turnover by South Lafourche. 1-on-1. Nice spin move. Able to finish. DeAndre Thomas with 13 and a 4-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Off the hand, out of bounds, turnover here. So South Lafourche with 6 turnovers in the quarter.
Well, Homa Christian's doing it with their defense right now. Both teams struggling on offense, and they're just playing, they keep playing that hard-nosed, pressure, man-to-man defense.
Nice drive. Can't finish. Offensive rebound, can't finish again. Long rebound on the floor, scramble, and South Lafourche ball. Wow, she looked like she was out of bounds.
We may get a reversal here.
Yeah, I thought surely she was laying out of bounds with the ball. And they did change it. Yeah, it's the right call.
Yeah.
It's great effort, but she was laying on the floor out of bounds with possession of the basketball.
I would much rather see officials
correct
overrule calls that way than let's go to the tape and look at the replay and everything. That let's let these guys do their job out there.
So we approach 1 minute to play in the third. 4-point lead, Homa Christian. Ends up in the hands down low and put in by Jada Ward, her first 2, and it's a 6-point lead.
Opportunistic basket there by Ward. Just picked up on the loose ball in the right place in the right time.
Bruce bump, no call. Ball knocked away and saved on the floor here by Nelson. Bynum signals a play and hands off here to Hurold. To Bruce on the weave as they try to create space here. This one's ending up on the floor loose. Double team, saved. Open shooter down low. Extra pass. Lost off the knee, turnover, and here comes a breakaway. All the way to the hole in the basket. 15 for DeAndre Thomas and an 8-point lead for Homa Christian as we now have 15 seconds to play in the third. They go right at Johnson. That's a jump ball. Outstanding defense by Ward on the help side.
Great backside help by Ward. You really needed that with Johnson right there. They were trying to attack her and make her pick up her foul, and Ward just did a great job of coming over and causing that jump ball.
Inbounds pass, and South Lafourche will try to get the last shot here. That's a good place to get it. Offensive rebound, no. Johnson comes down with it, clears it, and that'll be the end of the quarter. So, at the end of 3 quarters, Homa Christian maintains the edge over South Lafourche, 37-29.
A tale of runs in that quarter right there. South Lafourche came out strong to start the half and got back into it and tied the game. But since that time, despite the fact that Alicia Johnson came out of the game for Homa Christian went on a roll after that, and they've gotten back to an 8-point lead.
15 points for DeAndre Johnson. DeAndre Thomas, I should say. I get her and Alicia Johnson mixed up there. Thomas also 7 rebounds, by the way.
That's 2 good players right there. You could get them mixed up. They both play really hard. Very athletic. So Homer Christian did a really great job with Alicia Johnson off the floor. Not only maintaining the lead, they increased the lead while she was off the floor. And they just scrambled on defense and made things happen on the defensive end, scored off of their defense.
It's 15.7 rebounds for DeAndre Thomas, and it's 12 points and 10 rebounds for Alicia Johnson, who did not score in the quarter. And for South Lafourche, 8 points, 11 rebounds for Vic Nelson, and 8 points for Treya Bruce, who has 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But you're right, Homer Christian has really done it with defense and rebounding.
I don't think it's going to happen, but Homer Christian, I don't think they need Alicia Johnson to score in this quarter. They just need her presence on the floor so that South Lafourche needs to pay attention to her, but they need her to rebound.
She's on the floor to start the fourth quarter. 8 minutes left to go. Gold Division Championship of the Allstate Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic. Homer Christian up by 8. Almost a travel, but not happening. South Lafourche stays in that zone, but they're trapping, and it works. Bruce the other way. Nice bounce pass. Can't finish. Lee with their 4th rebound, and there's an easy one on the other end. The sniper just waiting for it. And putting it in is Thomas, and she's got 17, and it's the biggest lead of the game. 10 points for Homer Christian. Off the foot, will save it. Q-roll, able to get it to Bruce. Calls a play. Bruce has been quiet, hasn't scored in the second half.
She sure has. She's been quiet.
3 ball, too strong. And Thomas, her 8th rebound, and there's another breakaway. Williams released, and she scores.
Vic Johnson looks like she's limping. I don't know if she's cramping up or she's turned something, but she's hurting.
12-point lead, and we get a whistle here and a timeout South Lafourche. That'll help to try to cure anything that ails you at this point, right?
Yeah, I think South Lafourche coaches saw the same thing and figured they needed a rest. It's really kind of unusual that they haven't called more timeouts in this game. They both look kind of tired right now, but the momentum with Homer Christian, you don't play tired when you got the momentum. That adrenaline starts rolling.
So both teams talk it over with their respective coaches. Again, you're talking about, look, I call them a 1A team. That's what they are. They're 1A classification, but that's not where they're going to play in the playoffs, obviously, because of the way things are. What, Division 4, and then, of course, on the other side, you've got South Lafourche, a 4A school now. They've fluctuated between 4A and 5A over the years, and a 4A school now. But again, we have to get used to this new normal.
Right.
Whether we like it or not. We don't like it, but we got to get used to it.
You got to get used to it. You got to report it. You got to know what's going on with it. That's right. This just goes to show you, too, because I know of a couple of other teams down the Bayou, Thibodeau, and teams like that. There's good girls basketball down the Bayou this year. Really good basketball.
Yeah, really good. We saw Ellender earlier here. They were very good. Terrebonne, Thibodeau. I mean, there's some good teams. H.L. Bourgeois. 6:50 to play. 12-point lead, Homer Christian. Bruce spins. Almost walked, no call. And the ball came right back to her. She simply hands it off, but can't finish. And again a miss. So 3 chances, and Johnson finally clears it. She has it stripped away.
A lot of easy misses underneath there on that last possession. Fatigue is really raising its head right now.
South Lafourche continues to play hard. Bruce on the drive, grabbed and almost scored it nonetheless. Strong to be able to get that ball to the rim. And draws the foul from Courtney Lee, her 4th. So the first player with 4 fouls is Courtney Lee of Homer Christian.
That would be a loss for Homer Christian also. She's a good ball handler out there.
6:24 to play. Bruce at the line, and that's her first point in the second half. And she has 9 in the game and cuts the deficit to 11. That's what they need, is points without any time off the clock.
Without any time off the clock, and you get a chance to rest.
Got it. Lead down to 10.
Big possession for South Lafourche right there. This one also.
Nice feed to the post. And a turnover. Here comes South Lafourche the other way. 3rd turnover of the quarter already for Homer Christian. Less than 2 minutes in. Here's a loose pass knocked out of bounds. Players hit the floor. South Lafourche keeps the ball. Everybody's okay. And there's a public school and a private school helping each other, patting each other on the back. It's never been about the kids.
No, absolutely not. They could very easily be neighbors down there.
And they love to compete with each other, by the way.
Sure they do.
But nobody asked them.
Yeah, go figure that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about who?
Yeah, well, whatever.
Kids, right?
Facing up, Thomas. Pass
Good
knocked
hustle.
away, stolen. Great play defensively there by DeAndre Thomas.
She's
Made a
doing it on
brilliant
both
play.
ends. She's played a really great game tonight.
17 points, 8 rebounds for Thomas. Go along with 3 assists. And under 6 minutes to play, 10-point lead. Air ball, but there's Johnson to clean it up, stripped away out of bounds. And they're going to say to South Lafourche. So the Tarpons will get it. Down by 10.
You know, you just talked about all the statistics that DeAndre Thomas has right there. We feel one thing that doesn't show up on the stats is what she just did there. You know, hustling after that ball and bouncing it off of.
There's a 2-ball
South Lafourche player.
at the 5:31 mark. The fourth by Bynum. So Bynum able to put it home. She's got 7, and now it's an 8-point game. That's the first basket since the 6:40 mark of the third quarter for South Lafourche. And another turnover by Houma Christian, and now a foul as well. So the defensive intensity of South Lafourche starting to turn things around a bit. And the foul's going to be on Thomas, and that's her third, and that's going to be a 1-and-1. So nothing but good news for South Lafourche here. And a substitution for the Lady Tarpons. Kaiser Jackson is back on, and she gets Taylor Toops. So South Lafourche turning up the heat, and it's paying dividends.
Yeah, you got to like how they came out of the quarter, playing with a lot more intensity on the defensive end.
Bruce hits the first, and she's made 3 consecutive free throws in double figures with 11 points now. And she'll have a chance to cut this to 6 and make it a 2-possession game. And cannot. 13th rebound for Johnson.
Another turnover.
And another turnover. Bruce finds an open shooter. No. And the rebound controlled by Thomas. Nice drive, and DeAndre Thomas sticks it home. She's got 19, and it's a 9-point lead. Bynum to the top, and here's Q-roll. Step back jumper, nope. Nice offensive rebound, went high to get it.
Nice move. Oh,
And
they
Nelson
called a walk.
Called for traveling.
Really looks nice when you take that extra step.
Nelson with their 13th rebound, but a turnover. South Lafourche gives it back to the Lady Warriors at the 4:38 mark. They're leading by 9.
You know, Treya Bruce has been quiet this game for South Lafourche, but I think they really need to look to her the rest of this game.
Thomas, good look, but couldn't finish. Rebound, Nelson, her 14th of the game. Bruce, nice crossover, and she's fouled. She'll shoot 2. But they got the right person handling the ball and getting back to the line yet again. That's on Harding, I believe. Third on Brianna Harding. Houma Christian will send in Courtney Lee with her 4 fouls in a moment, but here's Bruce with the first free throw, and it is in. 12 points for Bruce.
It's a quiet 12 points.
Lee back in. Williams out. Lead is 8. And the second free throw rolls in for Bruce. 43-36. 4:19 left. Johnson handling it way out high. Haven't seen much of that. They'll double when they can, will South Lafourche. Keep it in the center of the floor. That's hard to do. Nice job of splitting the defense. Great pass. Oh, she can't finish. But Johnson sticks it back home and 1.
And there's the difference with Alicia Johnson in the game.
That's on Nelson, and that's her third. That's the first basket of the second half for Johnson. But she's got 14 points, 13 rebounds. That says enough. And a chance for number 15 right here. And to make it a double-digit lead, and she does. So a 3-point play makes it 46-36. Just under 4 minutes left. Knocked away and stolen. And knocked out of bounds here.
You know, it doesn't matter what level of basketball, high school, college, playground, pros, whatever. It's a game of runs.
Really is.
And how do you answer those runs?
And that's what Lady Warriors are going to do. Space it and try to find someone open. Johnson had it blocked. And this pass goes errantly out of bounds. So the turnover by Houma Christian. That's 21 they have in the game, but they've survived it, leading by 10.
Well, they survived it because of their defense.
Good pick to free Bruce. And there's Johnson with a strong board, her 14th.
That was incredibly strong rebound right there.
Johnson got it down low, but a whistle and a timeout called by Houma Christian with 3:07 to play. And the Lady Warriors are up 46-36. And again, you got those two players that have been dominant here. DeAndre Thomas, 19 points, 9 rebounds, and Alicia Johnson, 15 points and 14 rebounds.
Well, I tell you what, that's a two-pronged attack there that a lot of teams are going to have trouble, especially at the 1A level. A lot of teams are going to have trouble handling those two girls. This team is going to go far.
15 points and 14 rebounds for Johnson. And Thomas right now with 19 points and 9 rebounds. So again, at this point, it really is about just taking care of the ball. If you're Houma Christian with 3:07 to play, turnovers have been their only issue. They've been the better team in the game.
Right. You know, as a coach, you got 3 minutes left. You got a 10-point lead. I never liked telling my team don't look to score, but you got to look for a really good basket. You know, bring it up top, run your offense up high, but you run your offense still looking to score. You don't want to. There's too much time left. And you've got how many turnovers? 21 turnovers? Mm-hmm. You're not going to hold the ball for 3 minutes and be able to run the clock out. So you got to look to score.
Speaking of that, there's Thomas to the rim. Can't get it, though. Offensive rebound, and she can't get it home either. Here comes South Lafourche. Need to look to shoot quickly like this by Bruce. That's short off the rim, though. And this will end up being a jump ball, and that means South Lafourche will maintain possession with 2:50 to play. You don't have to shoot threes every time, but if the look is there, you've got to take it.
And with a player like Bruce, yeah, the look was there for her, so you go ahead and shoot it.
Bruce took the look. She passed that one up, though.
Cross-court pass.
This is long. And there's another rebound for Thomas. That gives her a double-double. And the defensive rebound here for Q-Roll. So Houma Christian continue attack, and they might pay for it. Nope. Bruce can't finish, but an offensive rebound. Nice block. Johnson got that. He clears it and comes out of there with it.
Now you bring your offense up high and run it up here, up high, toward the half-court line, but you're still looking to score.
Get them out of that zone and make them come match up.
Keep cutting to the goal, keep cutting to the middle, make them play defense, and if they slack off, you attack it.
Johnson does attack.
Just like that.
But it creates the offensive rebound and the two-shot opportunity for Thomas. Boy, they have been a 1-2 combination throughout.
What a duo. What a duo. Really unusual at any level.
Bruce gets her first foul. Thomas at the line. Now with 19 points and 11 rebounds, and she shoots 2.
Any level on high school to have 2 players that have double-doubles.
Rolls it in for a 20th point of the game, and we'll get Delisha Williams in for defense to replace Brianna Harding. With 1:58 to play, an 11-point lead for Houma Christian. Their biggest lead has been 12. And they've matched that. At 48-36, 21 for Thomas. Minute 55 to play.
I believe it was tied at 29-29, I believe.
Yes, it was.
19-7 run for Houma Christian.
And a turnover.
Much of that run without Elisa Johnson on the floor.
And guess who? Thomas. Yes, 23 for Thomas. And a timeout taken here by South Lafourche with 1:32 to play. It might be too little, too late. 50-36, Houma Christian, seemingly on their way to the Gold Division Championship.
Well, if anybody thought after the first time these two teams played that it was a fluke or an upset, Houma Christian came out and proved that wrong tonight.
Some performance here by Thomas and by Johnson, for that matter.
Both of them. the two-headed monster right there.
Again, to set the numbers, 23 points and 12 rebounds for Thomas. He has 3 assists for good measure, by the way. And for Johnson, 15 points and 15 rebounds. And the postgame will have the all-tournament team, most valuable player, and the team trophies to be presented.
So if things stay the same, who do you give the MVP trophy
You know, I mean,
to?
if it's based on one game, I think you have to give it to Thomas. But, you know, if it's based on the whole tournament, again, they played one fewer game than everybody else. You'd have to look at the other games. That's what makes it tough. Shot partially blocked, but the stick back no good. The put back, that's no good. Rebound kicked out of bounds, and Houma Christian will get it. So they've won the battle of the boards. They've won the battle inside, period. They've scored more points in transition. And here's, speaking of transition, Thomas, nice bounce pass. Could have gone either wing with it, frankly, because Johnson was running the floor as well. But she went instead to Washington, and she'll get 2 free throws. As a result, on the foul by Treya Bruce, her second and the 6th team foul. And here's Washington at the line.
You wish there was a category that you could keep track of, like a hustle category, where, you know, Thomas just made a great pass, you know, had a great chance for an assist, but the shot, you know, the girl got fouled on the shot. Give her something for making that great pass. She knocked the ball off of an opponent hustling after a loose ball earlier. Give her another hustle play.
And Johnson able to tie up her opponent. That will enable Houma Christian to keep the basketball with 1:15 left to play.
As an open cut to the basket. Nice.
Beautifully done. And that was a great pass by guess who? Thomas.
And that's what I mean about still looking to score.
Williams with 6 points. And the lead is 16 and another turnover.
And you never stop playing defense.
Wow, they hit the floor hard. No call, but Houma Christian will keep it.
DeAndre Thomas with the steal.
Yep. Fantastic effort by Thomas. She's got unofficially 4 steals in the game as well. So she's done everything in this game. Nice inbounds pass, and guess who? Her teammate Johnson scores it. And they've pulled away to an 18-point lead at 54-36. Houma Christian's going to win this one. Bruce trying to attack, and South Lafourche will keep possession. So South Lafourche is going to be 19-2 in both losses to Houma Christian. And there's a 3-ball, back rim, no good. Long rebound, fought for, control, but traveling is called.
You know, sometimes you just don't match up well with the team. I remember a year at Brother Martin, I believe it was the year we won the state championship, and we had so much trouble with Chalmette. Chalmette had a losing record that year. We just didn't match up well with them.
It just works that way.
Sometimes it does.
I mean, individual matchups make all the difference. 28 seconds left. They're going to play this one out. Johnson at center court. There's no need to foul here with an 18-point lead, but South Lafourche will continue to play, obviously. And now 18 seconds left, and Thomas just holding on. What a solid performance by Houma Christian in this one. Good pass again. They're attacking. I'm not sure why. They don't have to. And now a foul with 3.2 seconds left.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's going to be on Bynum. And that's going to mean a 1-and-1 with 3.2 seconds left.
You know, it's not like it was a snowbird, a cheap basket. You're playing hard. You know, the defense is still playing hard, so you keep playing.
Williams with 6 points in the game, looking for more here. Doesn't get it. Rebound controlled. And another turnover. And at the buzzer, that's not going to work. And the championship of the gold division of the Allstate Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic goes to Houma Christian as they defeat South Lafourche by the score of 54-36. Quite a performance by Houma Christian.
I tell you, Alicia Johnson, DeAndre Thomas, I tell you what, there's not a team in the state that wouldn't like to have either one of those girls on their team. They just both of them were just dominant tonight in their games. South Lafourche, nothing to be ashamed of. You got 2 losses all year long. Might be to the same team, but you're not going to see them again.
So 54-36 final, and DeAndre Thomas, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals to lead the way. Again, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals for DeAndre Thomas. And Alicia Johnson finished with 17 points, 15 rebounds, 4 block shots for Houma Christian in this one. As I see my great friend Laurie Dupont, what a great man and great coach he was for so many years.
Down from the Bayou.
Yeah, what a great guy. And he's such a good person. E.D. White grad of many, many years ago, great coach at West St. John, winning multiple state championships and then at Vanderbilt Catholic. And great to see him here representing Thibodaux Regional. One of the fine sponsors is now Ed Daniels will take to the floor, and we'll have the awards for the Gold Bracket Championship. And again, just a solid effort here by Houma Christian. They really earned this one, and the fans applauding both teams for their performance here.
What we'd like to do at this time is present our all-tournament team.
So we're going to have the all-tournament team introduced here momentarily.
From Zachary High School,
Brianna Langford of Zachary.
From Mount Carmel, Lauren Bodino.
Lauren Bodino of Mount Carmel.
From Dominican, Asia Yanusa.
Asia Yanusa of Dominican.
From Helen Cox, Jasmine Aguilar.
Jasmine Aguilar of Helen Cox.
Helen Cox, Maya Phillips.
And Maya Phillips of Helen Cox.
Ladies and gentlemen, from South Lafourche, Vic Nelson.
Vic Nelson of South Lafourche, who had 8 points and 14 rebounds in this game. He was just outstanding.
Plays with a lot of hustle.
Really does.
Sandy Fusel from Thibodaux Regional, and our tournament coordinator, Christy Hebert, giving out our hardware this afternoon. Also from South Lafourche, Treya Bruce.
Treya Bruce from South Lafourche as well. She gets a smile despite the loss.
From Houma Christian, Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee from Houma Christian.
I really think she's kind of like the unsung hero, one of the ball handlers. Doesn't score a lot, but she runs the floor for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, also from Houma Christian,
Alicia Johnson from Houma Christian. Surely one more to come.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah.
and ladies and gentlemen, one of the great things about this tournament is the Allstate Sugar Bowl provides us with a replica Sugar Bowl trophy to the most valuable player.
So a replica Sugar Bowl trophy for the MVP.
Very nice.
Of this event. And we all know that it's going to be DeAndre Thomas, right?
Our most valuable player, who had 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals in the championship game from Houma Christian, DeAndre Thomas.
So DeAndre Thomas.
Well deserved.
Gets the MVP award, and well deserved indeed. So good for her. Well done. And then the team trophies will follow here momentarily, and we'll have a chance to sign off. DeAndre Thomas, again, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Alicia Johnson, 17 points, 15 rebounds. And she had 4 block shots in the game. Delesia Williams with 6 points. Ariel Washington with 3. 3 for Courtney Lee. 2 for Jada Ward for Houma Christian. And for South Lafourche, 2 points for Ramey Messer. Treya Bruce ended up leading them in scoring with 13 points. She had 5 rebounds. Michaela Bynum with 7. Kaija Jackson 4. Vic Nelson 8 points, 14 rebounds. Abigail Beauregard had 2 points in the game. Rainey Terrebonne of South Lafourche, the head coach, and the Lady Tarpons out to receive the trophy for their performance in this tournament, including here this afternoon. And they'll position themselves for the picture to be taken. You got to like that.
it's a successful team. You can tell because, look, they know how to set themselves up for the team picture.
They don't need somebody to show them how to pull this off. Okay, you kneel down. You stand here. Smaller players to the front.
They got
bigs to the back.
They're used to it. They know.
All right. Got that act down nicely. Well done.
And our championship trophy goes to Coach Tammy Martin and the Warriors from Homa.
Tammy Martin in her first year at Homa Christian, and she'll lead her Homa Christian championship team up to the front here to be presented with the award for the championship of this event. And they seem to know how to do this too. Laurie DuPont with a slight assist here, but ready to roll. And again, no doubt that they were the better team in this game. They never trailed in this game. They were tied 4 times, but otherwise led from start to finish.
Right, I believe the last tie was at 29-29, and they just took over from there.
Well, you had a spell of 6:40 in the third quarter to the 5:31 mark of the fourth quarter that South Lafourche did not score a field goal. So that was the difference. You said it pretty much from the start that the defense of Homa Christian was really what was setting them apart.
Right, it set the pace the whole game. They were able to execute their defense over South Lafourche, and South Lafourche never got comfortable in the half-court offense.
Well, Bill, it's been a pleasure. This is the first of 3. We have 2 more to go. The girls' Platinum Championship, Destrehan John Curtis, and the boys' championship to be played between the Christian Center of Kingwood, Texas, against Scotlandville later on. Looking forward to that, my friend.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. We'll get a little break here, catch our breath, and then have 2 great games, 4 great teams. Looking forward to it.
You got it, Bill. Thank you. That's Bill Gallagher. I'm Ken Trahan for Chip and for Nat, Lenny, and the entire crew for SportsNova.com and First NBC Bank. Thanks for joining us. Be a good sport, and God bless you one and all. We'll be back at you in a little bit at 6:25 for our Girls Platinum Bracket Championship right here at SportsNova.com.